Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024-2025 New York Knicks season has officially come to an end. It's over. The season is officially over as the New York Knicks can't get it done in Game 6. They lose to the Indiana Pacers 125-108. A lot of stuff to talk about, obviously, going through the emotions right now, trying to process everything. But the season is over, right? So, and this game sucked. It's not a good way to end the season at all for the New York Knicks. It's terrible, honestly. And look, I'm kind of going to more so talk about the game and then we can talk about like the season, but I just need kind of like a night to process everything, or like a few nights to process everything. And then we'll talk about the offseason. But I just can't believe that in quote unquote your biggest game in the last 25 years, because throughout the entire playoffs, it seems like every single game has been the biggest game in the last 25 years. But tonight, you had an opportunity to bring this thing back to New York, and you squandered it. How you lost this series was just defined tonight. But all in all, you lost this series in Game 1. Done. I knew that game was going to come back to bite us, and it did. You could have made your adjustments in Game 2. Didn't really. And after you go down 0-2 at home, that's all she wrote. So, we are here tonight on Saturday, May 31st, and it is the final post game of the Knicks season. Sombering, but, you know, we'll get through this. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff. Appreciate you guys over on TikTok watching right now. I got a bunch of trolls in the chat. It's all right. Yeah, Isaiah says, what's good, Ant? Truly believe Josh Hart is not on the roster next season. Chris and I did a podcast, I think a few months ago, when I said that a lot of people are talking about one of the Villanova guys to trade him, which was Mikal Bridges. And I'm like, that's not the Villanova guy you should be wanting to trade. It's probably going to be Josh Hart. We'll talk about that. But, I mean, in a closeout game, quite frankly, the last person I thought wouldn't show up didn't show up. The last couple of people. I mean, you got nothing from Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, yes, he gave you 22 and 14. I mean, look, he's on a bad knee. He can't play defense. He's hobbled. Quite frankly, he sucks playing defense. And that's going to be an issue from here on out. How you figure that out in the summer. Maybe you keep on starting a big next to him. But quite frankly, he didn't show up. Getting beat all the time. Lost on defense. It just looked bad out there. That's number one. Number two, our captain, Jalen Brunson. The last person I would expect to not show up in a pivotal game to, end your season. He doesn't show up. Pacers were hounding him all night. Credit to them. Nembhard did a tremendous job on Jalen Brunson. But Jalen Brunson cooked that matchup all series long. And tonight, he just couldn't. It's honestly baffling that he didn't show up. I can't believe it. I really can't believe that it's over. But it is. It's over. Brunson didn't show up. 1. Towns didn't show up. 2. Josh Hart. Terrible series from Josh Hart, guys. Terrible series from Josh Hart. leaving this series in the summer, he's going to be the guy that will probably get shipped out of here. And it sucks because obviously we're reacting over game 6, but terrible series from Josh Hart. I mean, guys, honestly, I just can't believe the way this Knicks team played tonight. Right? I just can't believe it. Josh Hart turnover, 2-on-1 fast break. Stupid. Stupid. Dumb. And then in the second half, him and Towns run a fast break. Deuce steal. Deuce McBride plays some defense. And the transition offense sucks. How do you turn the ball over on a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 fast break? Someone explain that to me, please. Please. Someone explain that to me. Someone explain that to me. How do you turn the ball over on a fast break? Just can't happen. Just can't happen, but it did. On a night where you knew what not to do, turn the ball over, that's exactly what you did, was turn the ball over, right? You know not to turn the ball over against this team, and yet all night long you turn the ball over. Mikal Bridges, I mean, you traded 5 first-round picks for him. He had 5 turnovers. 1 turnover for every pick tonight. And look, I'm not going to be that troll. I'm not going to be that guy. The Knicks just got cooked defensively. Cooked. Jalen Brunson, 5 turnovers. 10 turnovers between Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson. Josh Hart comes in for 22 minutes, turnover. Right when he steps in the game, turnover. It's honestly baffling. Baffling. El Figgy, appreciate the super chat. El Figgy, appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the $49.99 from El Figgy. Wow. El Figgy, man, thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. Unfortunately, this season, let me know if you have anything to say with that. Don't know if you wanted anything to say with that super chat, but just the season's over, El Figgy. I mean, we'll get to your call a little bit later, and I'm sure you have a lot to say in the Discord. You guys can hit the Discord or call into the show a little bit later, but thank you for the super chat, El Figgy. Thank you. El Figgy says third quarter has been a major issue all season. That is on Thibs. Yeah, let's get to Thibs, right? Let's get to Thibs. What does Tom Thibodeau specialize in? What does Tom Thibodeau specialize in? He's supposed to be a great defensive coach, right? Defensive genius. And I know, look, the personnel has some things to do with that. But for a defensive-minded coach, it's just embarrassing stuff. The defense was embarrassing. Embarrassing, honestly. In a closeout game, it's just embarrassing stuff. An F performance all around, man. Cat was so bad tonight. Cat was so bad. Knicks couldn't stop a nosebleed out there. I mean, turnovers, guys, let's face it. Turnovers are a product of an undisciplined team. Right? Turnovers are a product of an undisciplined team. Knicks are not disciplined. You know exactly what not to do against this Patriot team, and yet you still do it. Right? You still do it. I mean, I posted an image of the way the Pacers play defense and the way the Knicks play defense. Look at this. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Here's the Pacers. Full court defense, right? I'm gonna put them side by side. Full court defense, full court press down the court. Here's the Knicks. Look at the differences, guys. Brunson back turned. Mikal, like, I don't know what you're doing. These are the differences right here on the screen. The entire game, the Pacers did not give the Knicks any room to breathe. Any room. They couldn't get into their offensive sets. It took them like 20 seconds just to get a shot off. I mean, you got to give credit to the Pacers. They played an incredible basketball game. They're home. They fed off the crowd. They scored 33 points in the second quarter, 34 points in the third quarter, 33 points in the fourth quarter. Non-existent defensively. Non-existent stuff defensively. Appreciate it. V-Love, I see you. So here we are, guys. The season's over. It's a frustrating way to close it out. Embarrassing. I mean, I would have never thought your captain, Jalen Brunson, wouldn't have shown up in a pivotal game. I thought he would have went for 40 tonight in a closeout game, honestly. But he didn't. He didn't. And, you know, I'm sure he's going to get some slings and arrows, as he should. He played a bad game, and I'm sure he's going to own it in the post game. But what does that mean anymore? I mean, it's over. It's over. It's done. Like I said, in the night, in June and July, we're going to look back at this season and pick out the great things. Great season, honestly. But right now, I'm just frustrated, upset, angry. But yeah, let's hit some of your comments, man. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, subscribe, like, all the good stuff. Patricia says they look gobsmacked. Eddie says Thibs coaches last game. Oh, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I talked about all the negatives. The one positive for tonight, OG Anunoby showed up. Thank you. OG Anunoby was the only Knick, and Mitchell Robinson, the only Knicks to show up tonight. The only Knicks to show up tonight. OG Anunoby was diving on the floor. I mean, guarding 2 or 3 guys in a single possession, dominating tonight. Him and Mitchell Robinson were the only Knicks who showed up. I don't want to hear anything about OG Anunoby again. I don't. Played the most games in his career up to this point. It's an incredible season for OG. Way to go out. That's how you go out. You know, I just didn't like what else I saw from everyone else, man. I didn't, man. Josh Hart would have, guys. This series was the Josh Hart awful play. This series was honestly baffling to me. And quite frankly, he played his least amount of minutes tonight than he has the entire playoffs. So Thibodeau recognized it, but in 22 minutes, he still managed to give you one turnover. And a bad one on a fast break. So it sucked because the Knicks opened up this basketball game like with their hair on fire. Mikal hit a 3. Brunson back-to-back buckets. Mitchell Robinson lob. Pacers timeout. And I'm like, whoa, we're locked in. We're locked in. And then you know what started the Pacers comeback? Mikal, turnover. Brunson, turnover. Simple basketball, right? Simple basketball. You turn the ball over, you're going to lose. You're not disciplined enough to not turn the ball over. I don't understand it. Like, that's going to sit with me throughout the whole summer, the turnovers. Oh, man. Eddie says free throws. Yeah, turnovers and free throws. 17 and 26 at the line. Shitty way to end the season, honestly. Shitty way to end the season when it seems like you quit on the defensive end. You miss a ton of free throws, and Jalen Brunson was terrible. Karl-Anthony Towns, bad. Hart, bad. Just a bad way to end the season. And we're going to sit with this for quite a bit, but here we are. Yo, Figgy says, I see you in the chat. King says, zero continuity. Joe says, shout out to OG, Mitch, Wright, Shamet. They all claim to play tonight. Yes. Josh Guilford says, I'm a total loss for words. Yeah. I am. Ichimaru, heartbreaking loss. Do you think they will replace Thibs in the offseason? If yes, who is the better replacement? I have a lot on my mind tonight to answer that question. Ichimaru. Right now, it's going to take me quite a bit to answer that question. Quite a bit of research. But, you know, this series was lost after game 1. Thibs, I mean, the game 2 the campaign, benching a Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, a lot of stuff. And then game 4, especially, just continuing to play Josh Hart. A lot of stuff to question for Tom Thibodeau. But, you know, like I said, in a night in June and a night in July, I know many of you don't want to hear this right now, but this Knicks team got to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 seasons. And quite frankly, it's what a lot of us Knicks fans wanted this team to do. Take another step. You know, take another step. And we took another step. But it stinks because a lot of stuff fell your way. You know, Cleveland, gone. Boston, you beat. Indiana in back-to-back seasons. You built your team to beat Boston. You beat them. Now you got to build your team to beat Indiana. They're too fast for you. The Knicks are way too slow. Way too slow. The Pacers run, man. Run, run, run. Pick, run. Easy bucket, pick. They fly all over the court. So offense, truly, honestly, offense is just, that's beautiful offense. That's beautiful offense. Halliburton is not afraid to dish the ball. He's not afraid to share the ball. He's the point guard as he should. Beautiful offense. So it opened up for you, right? So you have to sit with this now. The Eastern Conference opened up for you. Yeah, say Quizzy, that 3-1 fast break card. Yeah, 1-2-3 Cancun. Terrible. It opened up for you. Cleveland, best team in the East, gone. Boston, no one gave you a shot. You beat them. You're like, wow, we can get to the finals. It's opening up here. And here come the Indiana Pacers again. Back-to-back seasons, they sent you home. And you can say whatever you want. They mocked you. Halliburton did the choke thing in game 1. Did the Brunson sign in when was that? Game 3? No, game 4. He did the Brunson sign. They still beat your ass. So Brunson said last year it still bothers him. Well, this year's going to bother you too. They beat you. These opportunities don't come often, guys, which is why it's so frustrating, because it's so easy for me to say, look, it's a good season. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but you don't know what's going to happen next year in the NBA. You don't know if these opportunities come back. I mean, in 2000, people were probably saying, we're good. We're okay. And it took you 25 years just to get back to this point. Now, I do think we're on the right track. We got a good general manager. He knows what the hell he's doing. We got a good cap guy. We're good. But this Knicks front office is going to have to get real creative this summer. And you're going to have a big fish out there, and you're going to have to decide if you're willing to trade for that big fish. But that's a conversation for the summer. But season's done. Season's done. You could look back at these playoffs and say, yeah, the black suits, Joel. First of all, Reggie Miller. Shame on the NBA for giving us Reggie Miller this entire series. Wearing a black suit, saying, y'all know what time it is. The dude is the freaking announcer, bro. He's commentating the basketball game, and we got him just glazing over the Pacers the entire series, bro. Get off your knees, man. Get off your knees. We get it. Indiana, you love them. We get it. But you got to be professional. You think Mike Breen will do that? You think of the New York, I know Mike Breen didn't, play, but I mean, be professional, man. Just unprofessionalism. Look, I sound like a salty Knicks fan, but come on, man. Marsh Jones says, salute. Too many turnovers. Game 1 choke, and the refs letting the Pacers tackle Brunson, Nembhard, and Nate. Yeah, I mean. Marsh Jones says, got to get bigger off the bench and get a real scorer off the bench, maybe like a Jordan Clarkson. Jada Don says, we might need the Villanova 4 next year. BX says Brunson's got to learn to share the rock more. How many? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's gonna sit with me is that Jalen Brunson didn't have a good game. He didn't. I mean, if your point guard is gonna turn the ball over 5 times, it's gonna set you behind the 8 ball. And then 3 turnovers for Mr. Mikal Bridges in the first quarter. 6 as a team. So you open up the game with 6 turnovers after the first quarter. And you're sitting there like, this is not happening again. And Mitchell Robinson with an incredible first quarter, by the way. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal, dominant. Impacting the game. Only 30 minutes for Mitch. Play him. You know, Thibs went to the bench lineup in the first. Played their all-bench lineup without Brunson or Cat. Which was weird because you needed at least one of them out there. But I thought this game changed. Knicks, they were gaining some momentum, right, in the fourth quarter. And it was really, the door really shut when DeLon Wright got open for a 3 to cut the lead to, I believe, 6 with 9:55 left and missed. And then the Pacers came back and scored. I think that was the game. DeLon Wright got open for a 3, missed, and that was it. That was it. 17 turnovers as a team. 17. And in the first half, they had 16 points off turnovers. How many points off turnovers did they have tonight? Because I know in the first half, they had 16. Definitely need scoring off the bench from BXML. Yes, Bridges must go. Not dependable. What's with this Jordan Poole next season? Is he really our savior? Jordan Poole off the bench? We do need another ball handler. But Poole? I don't know about Poole. Oh man, appreciate you guys in the chat. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff. Hit your comments right now. It's a frustrating night to be a Knicks fan. The season's done. It's over. You know, everything that we dreamed of before Game 6, we wanted to force a Game 7, and it didn't happen. They didn't come out with the sense of determination. They weren't disciplined enough. And I thought the night was defined when a great Deuce McBride steal and you got a fast break. It's a whole big. Honestly, after that fast break turnover, I laughed. I laughed, man. It actually made me feel better. Like I got out my depression. Like, after that fast break turnover, I just laughed. I just burst out laughing. Embarrassing, man. Sad. Losing 60 and 80 last year. Losing 7 this year. Get mocked this year. Do nothing about it. And now us Knicks fans have to sit here and go through it. Jay Wally says, that was embarrassing, though. What's going on, Jay? Appreciate you in the chat. Yeah, Jay. BX Mel says Hart can't play the 4 next year if he's here. If he's here. If he's here. Emmanuel says bring back IQ and Barrett. He probably meant Jordan. Jordan Clarkson. The bridge is over, as KRS-One famously said. Reggie was horrible, made it hard to watch the series with him, Van Gundy. Reggie Miller was absolutely terrible. The NBA should be ashamed of himself. Unprofessional, coming into, the series wearing all black, just super unprofessional for Reggie Miller. Super unprofessional. Let's get to the super chat from Yvette. Ooh, let's make this smaller. Yvette, thank you for the support, and thank you for the super chat, Yvette. Yvette says, thank you so much, Knicks Nation, for all you do, and mostly for keeping me sane with this crazy New York Knicks. Every year is something with this team, and that has been going on for a very long time. This year, for some reason, heart is not the same. Agree. Really appreciate the super chat, Yvette. Thank you so much for the continued support. Thank you all for the support. Yvette, hope all is well. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. Every year is something with this team, like Yvette said, right? And like I said, in a night in June, July, we can look back at this and be proud of our team, be proud of our squad. But year one with Jalen Brunson, right, you get bounced in the second round. Year two, last year, you get bounced in the second round. Year three, you make the major trade for Karl Anthony Towns literally right before the season starts. I mean, he couldn't even buy a house or get his feet wet. You make the major trade for Mikal Bridges. You shake it up a lot. Like, you shake it up a lot. You shake it up a lot. And the season's a roller coaster. You're not really playing well. And yet you beat Detroit in 6. Scratched by them. Great moments in that series. Made me feel so proud. You beat the damn Boston Celtics in 6. And I don't want to forget those moments, because those moments really made me feel like really good as a Knicks fan. Like, really good. And then you come into this Pacers series kind of not overlooking them again, but with the sense like this has opened up here that we can get to the finals, and then you have a game 6, the game 1 debacle, this game 6, you can't stop them. You can't stop them. Can't stop them. Loud and Clear with the super chat. Appreciate you, Loud and Clear. Appreciate all the super chats tonight, man. Really do. Thank you for the support. Came up short. I love this team, and I love you all. Made some real connections with y'all this year. We will come back. This sucks. It sucks, man. But we got to hold our heads up high. Shout out to Knicks Nation. Shout out to the chat. Loud and Clear. Really appreciate the super chat. Really appreciate the continued support. Thank you for becoming a member and staying a member. And thank you for the support over here at Knicks Nation. Loud and Clear, Yvette, El Figgy. Thank you for the super chats tonight. Really. Yeah. We got to hold our heads up high, like Loud and Clear said. We do. Shout out to all of you, man. Honestly, you guys were awesome this year. And look, the job is not done. I mean, the grind doesn't stop. You guys were awesome coming in here after every post game, riding with me and supporting. And I really do appreciate it. I really do. But this one, like I was really upset. I'm still upset. I'm still heated. I'm sure we're gonna hear the guys in the post game comments. I want to see what Jalen Brunson has to say, because just an uncharacteristic game from your captain. And here we are. May 31st. That is when the season ends. That is when the season ends. We'll be back, you know. But you have to figure out a way. Look, this team is not going to be the same. It's not. Never is. Never is. Now, I think that the same core will be the same. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns in year one contributed a lot. They really weren't even playing to their best of their abilities yet. But this team is not going to be the same. Leon Rose has shown us that he is not afraid to make changes whatsoever. He's not. So that's one thing going into this summer as a New York Knicks fan, that we can like if Leon Rose sees something out there, he's going to strike. He's going to strike. And he's going to pounce. Right? There's going to be a lot of changes in the East. A lot. I can't believe it's done. Can't believe it's done. It's really done, guys. Maybe, just maybe next year. Marshawn, appreciate the super chat, Marshawn. Appreciate you in here. Thank you for the support, Marshawn. Let me get this a little bit bigger. Thank you for rocking with us. Size 9 says maybe just next year they will cut out all the dancing and showing off. Loud and Clear says Dante from Mikal Bridges. Shazam in the TikTok says Knicks in 8. Knicks in 9. Eric says let's go back to game 1. Yeah, looking back at this series, game 1 is going to haunt you. And we all knew it after the game, right? Remember the feeling after game 1? I didn't sleep. Probably my worst feeling I felt as a New York Knicks fan. And the highs and lows of this season, this playoffs, game 1 is the worst I've felt as a Knicks fan. It was right there. It changed the series. Right? It just shows you like a disciplined team that you thought the Knicks were at times. And this team can be so hot and cold at times. Like one moment you think they're the greatest team ever. The next moment they can't defend. They suck. They're turning the ball over. They're playing stupid. And that's pretty much the definition of our season. They just never were consistent enough. Like they never really put it together consistently. They always had their backs up against the wall. They always thrived under adversity, which is a good trait. But they just never had the momentum like the Pacers have. The Pacers have been dominant from January. Dominant. And look, Tyrese Halliburton has talked about they kept the same unit together pretty much the entire year. They kept the same team. There's been a lot of changes on the Knicks roster over the last year. A lot of changes. You know, we'll talk about what needs to be done, but yes, BX Mel, we do need another shot creator. We need another ball handler, shot creator off the bench. And, yeah. Another wing off the bench, too, that can score and handle the ball. That's one area that this Knicks team really struggles in is a ball handler. They need another ball handler. Like, they need another ball handler. And maybe that's in their system. Maybe Tyler Kolek, after another year, can come out and really have a good second year. But they really do need another ball handler. I mean, you just relied on too much of Hart, too much of Mikal at times, and those guys really aren't ball handlers. And yet you really just need like a general off the bench. We'll talk about what we need off the bench. I'm just frustrated. I miss Dante. We need Durant. Devin Booker from Hype in the chat. Frustrating, guys. Frustrating. Mitch is a dog. Yes. That'll be 4 non-shooters on our team. Maybe the key is for us to keep the same core like the Pacers did, Jada Don says. Yeah. Keep the same. Look, obviously you have to dabble in the Giannis sweepstakes. If Giannis Antetokounmpo is available and if he says, I want to be a New York Knick, I mean, you'll be stupid not to trade for him. But it's a conversation, right? It's a conversation. You have to give up a lot. You don't really have that many assets anymore. You traded 5 firsts for Mikal Bridges, who had 5 turnovers tonight. So you have to deal with the Mikal Bridges extension coming up. And you just have a lot of decisions to make this summer. A lot. Loud and Clear says, yo, Ant, you still giving Brooklyn a 6th draft pick from Mikal Bridges? Don't catch me in a moment, man. I said I'll give Brooklyn another pick after after the Celtics series because Mikal had a great Celtics series. He did. He showed the F out. And that's something where you can hold your hat on and, look back at certain things, and you don't want to be too reactionary or overreactionary because that's where you can get in a lot of trouble. Right now we're upset, we're heated. We want to fire Thibs, trade Mikal, trade Josh, right? It's all these things we want to do. But you really have to give it a couple weeks and really evaluate this team. Just really evaluate this team and see whether we can improve. And you really, honestly, you have to figure out if Tom Thibodeau is the right guy. Is Tom Thibodeau the right guy to take you to the promised land? Because I personally think he got outcoached by Rick Carlisle. Thoroughly. Sarah says we're coming back better next season. Let's go, Sarah. Hope all is well. Appreciate you in here. Thank you for the support. Sarah is the one writing all the post-game recaps on the KnicksNationMedia.com. She does an awesome job writing those post-game recaps. Shout out to Sarah in the chat. She's going to have an article coming out in a few days. Season wrap up and what the Knicks can improve on. But you're honestly going to have to decide on, is Thibs the guy? Is Thibs the guy? Penny says game 1 loss messed up everything. Jimmy says you blame the coach over the moves that were made. Trip piece to follow. There's always next year. Look, obviously you're going to point fingers at everyone. You're going to point fingers at Hart. You're going to point fingers at tonight. You can point fingers at Brunson, Cat. But thoroughly, Josh Hart just hasn't really had a good series. And I think the Josh Hart constant playing hurt this team this series. I think Tom Thibodeau got too comfortable playing Hart. And at times when Josh Hart is you really is a player where Thibs trusts, and he's the heart and soul. At any given moment, he can flip it. You just didn't get that boost from him this series. You didn't get that boost from him. And Thibs did make adjustments. He did go deep into his bench. But at the end of the day, it was your stars in a game 6 didn't show up. And there's really not much you can do if Jalen Brunson and Cat are going to play like that. Mr. Nice with the super chat. Appreciate you, Mr. Nice. Thank you for the support as always. He says, let it out, Knicks fans. We had a great season. Got to let them grow together and need to trade for DeJounte Murray and Herb for Bridges and Hart. I actually kind of like that. This summer will be fun going through trades. It will be. DeJounte Murray and Herb Jones for Bridges and Hart. The roster's not going to stay the same. It's not. It's not. And I said, 2 months ago, I think Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, I honestly think Mitchell Robinson, you got to keep, but I don't know, you got Huck Porty knocking at the door, right? So it's going to be a lot of decision-making that will ruffle some feathers, especially in Knick land. But, it's the price you have to pay due to this apron being so restrictive in the NBA, right? You're in the first apron, and there's only so much you can do. You traded away all your picks. So, which is why the Giannis thing is kind of like interesting, because they don't want to tank. They want to compete still. They don't want to just picks. They want talent. And that's one thing the Knicks have over people. Talent. They don't have the picks. So, obviously we'll have all summer to talk about that and tinker with that. But right now, on May 31st, your New York Knicks are done for the season. It's over. I don't know why I did the DJ air horn there. Cully says Bridges barely looks for his own shot. Yeah, it just needs some aggressiveness. But I think Mikal, look, guys, you pretty much threw these guys together like right before training camp, and you said figure it out. Sometimes all you need is time. Sometimes it just takes time. Sometimes it takes time to build good habits. You see the Pacers, they're a machine. Boston, it took them a couple years. They just tinkered with the main pieces around around Tatum, around Brown. They just got better around them. They got them better defenders. So sometimes it just takes time, and you don't want to tinker with the major stuff, but you can tinker with everything else, which I do think this Knicks team will do. They will tinker with stuff, right? There could be a lot of tinkering. A lot of tinkering. Appreciate the lightning, Dylan. Just Rover says, we are not moving Mitch. He's our defensive big. And then Size 9 right after that says Mitch is trash. Size 9, Mitchell Robinson is not trash, bro. If anything, shout out to Mitchell Robinson for coming back from that injury, dominating, right? I remember on the podcast thinking about Jonas Valanciunas trades for Mitchell Robinson. Actually putting that out there to you guys. Longest tenured Knick. I think there's something to say with that. He's been through it all. But if there's a trade out there that is available, one thing that the front office has done is they got Huck Porty and they got Tyler Kolek, right? Does Huck Porty take that leap? He's going to play in the Summer League. Damn, Summer League. It's over, man. It's done. No more Knicks basketball. No more Knicks basketball, man. Undisciplined game tonight. Stupid game. Stupid game. Like, honestly, it's bittersweet. Appreciate you guys in here rocking with me. Thank you for the supers. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the support. Shout out to y'all on TikTok. Just going over this season and kind of getting into the nitty gritty and seeing what's next for this team. But right now, I know you guys are in Discord waiting to call. I see Isaiah. I see El Figgy. I see Say Quizzy in the Discord waiting to chat. I know you guys got a lot of stuff to say in your mind. And we'll get to your calls a little bit later. Pacers and OKC got the best team chemistry. Yeah, I'm not watching that. Shout out to the Pacers. I'm not watching that. OKC, it's like I said on TikTok, I want Hartenstein to win a ring, but at the same time, I corrected myself. I don't, because he took the most money and he left us. So I was like salty. I'm like, I don't want Hartenstein to win a ring. But I do. I like Hartenstein. I think OKC is just going to win. I do. Michael says the Celtics would have beaten the Pacers easily. Michael, I disagree. I was speaking to a lot of Celtics fans that they were afraid of Indiana. Indiana, guys, were playing so well. Like, Indiana, let's not overlook them, because since January, they were a machine. They took out Cleveland in 5. Literally one of the best teams in the NBA, the second best team in the NBA. They smoked them in 5. Which makes game 1 so frustrating. Wayne says, salute to Knicks Nation. Very disappointed tonight. Hard for me to get on. Wayne, really appreciate the support. Thank you for hopping on here, even though it's hard. It is hard. It's a not a depressing night. It's just a little bit of a shot in the arm, man. I mean, it's, you look back, you think about the good moments in the times when you reflect on tonight, and you don't really want to Like this season was done after game 1. It was over. You know, that's what it is. I'm sure they're saying that in the locker room. And look, I know they're gonna say like, "Oh, we made mistakes. Oh, we turned the ball over." But bottom line is they weren't disciplined. They know what they had to correct, and they didn't. Josh Hart in the post game. I failed the team. I didn't bring it how I should have, especially in this series. If I played better, it could have been a different situation. Accountability, right? Mitchell Robinson was dejected at his locker after the loss, unlike I've seen him before. Took this one hard. I don't even got words, to be honest, he said. Should have kept my energy up. Robinson was very self-critical. I feel like I didn't play to my full potential. Mitchell Robinson, you played your ass off, bro. You played your ass off, Mitch. Josh Hart said I failed the team. He did. Again, they're asking about Tom. Jalen Brunson was asked if he has confidence in Tom Thibodeau is the right coach. Of course, what is he going to say, guys? What is he going to say? I don't like these questions. What is Brunson going to say? Brunson loves Thibs. Of course he's going to say he's the right guy. What is he going to say? No, I don't think Thibs is the right guy. We're going into the summer. We're going to work and we're going to get better. We're going to figure out a way how we can change the outcome. No one's really out there posting themselves about the things that they do or anything like that. We have guys that generally just want to work hard or be better. Yeah. We'll get to those comments, but I'm frustrated. Reflective night, Valk. Well said. Reflective night. Mitch is a damn force. Dakota. Yeah. Mitch is a damn force. Somebody said y'all lost when y'all fan base started harassing the opposing team fans. What are you talking about? 2 of our own got stabbed in Indiana. And Knicks fans just threw a trash bag at a Pacer fan. Come on, man. Just Rover says, take a bow, Mitch. He's one of the few Knicks that showed up. What coaches are even out there if Thibs goes? I mean, obviously the one coach is going to be Mike Malone, but he's not that much different than Thibs. He doesn't really utilize the bench. He doesn't really play the youth. He's not that much different. Nostalgic, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat. All right, let's get to the Discord calls, guys. I mean, let's see what everyone else has to say on the Discord. Frustrating night. Let me get the Discord up. We are live in the Discord. If you guys wanted to hop in the Discord, please do so. The link is pinned up in the chat. I see Disrover, Isaiah, El Figgy, Say Quizzy. Let's get to Say Quizzy. What's going on?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
The starters in that third quarter always haunt us. I don't know why. Even you could say game 4, it was like kind of the same results to start the third. I think it was like a 4 or 5 point game. Pacers go like on a 10-0 run. And it starts from a bunch of turnovers, foolish, like stupid plays. Like I don't understand like how we play like this to start the third. Like, do we need somebody to be a cheerleader in the locker room to get them hype? Because it's the same way every time. Like, and I said last call, I said you do not want to try to outscore Pacers.
Yep.
You're trying to keep them under 110. Anytime they pass that, they win because we don't score like that. Like, and if we do, that means OG, Bridges, Josh Hart will have to be like around 20 points to be around them. And today the defense wasn't there. Cat didn't show up today. We had Turner in foul trouble. And I'm like, okay, Cat, this is a green light to go off. Like, you got Siakam guarding you. You got to go off now. Turner not in there to help. He didn't do nothing. Missed free throws after missed free throws. Anytime you got fouled to get in rhythm, he missed one, missed two. I'm like, come on now. Like, Turner's out the game. Like, that should have been helping us out. We got Thomas Bryant out here making threes. I'm like, bro, come on. You can't tell me this bench player that missed a couple of games now hitting threes. Brunson had an off night too. Turnovers after turnovers. You getting double team. Like, let somebody else take the ball up. Like, Pacers is trying to make you pass the ball and, like, make somebody else beat us. Like, you should have somebody else taking the ball up. But it was just turnovers after turnovers again. Yep. And then that Josh Hart fast break when it was a 3-on-1.
It's a wrap, man.
Had me about to break my TV.
Yeah, man.
Because I said, please. I was like, come on. Deuce just got the steal. And I don't even know what he tried to do. It looked like he tried to throw a lob and then try to throw a layup at the last minute. And I'm like, yo, you can't be serious. And then the Pacers come down and score because of that.
Yep.
I'm like, anytime Pacers got a 3-on-1, the ball is moving. The ball's moving. So that means it's either the Knicks is fouling or they get an open dunk or open three at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we do that. That's what the Knicks do. Anytime we get a fast break, we don't look smooth. They don't go smooth, especially when Josh Hart got the ball. And then that Deuce 3 that was in the corner, I couldn't see from the replay, but it did not look like Deuce stepped out of bounds.
That was a big call too.
Like, I don't know what replay they showed, but I could not tell if he stepped out of bounds or not. From the replay, they showed like a far camera angle, and it did not look like it. But
yeah, now
as a Knicks fan, we about to hear all these rumors: the Giannis, the KDs, is Tibbs getting fired?
All of
we
them
about to hear all that. Hopefully next year we get a better bench and Tibbs play the bench and not wait until the Eastern Conference Finals to start playing the bench. But we all in Cancun now. That's all I got to say.
We all in Cancun now, man. I mean, we got to own it. You know, what's his name on Indiana played a hell of a game. You know, Bryant, came into tonight 3 or 4 from 3. 11 points. It's just a testament. Like, Rick Carlisle is not afraid to reach in that bench, right? You got to be deep. If you want to go this far, you got to be deep in this league. And the Pacers are extremely deep. Obi Toppin hitting threes. 18 points, 6 rebounds. No one's happier right now than Obi Toppin, man, sending his former team home. He hates Tom Thibodeau, by the way. Hates him. Let's get to Isaiah. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
What up, man?
I'm on. Right before I start off, Yuri said he's not going to join us today because he's going to get you demonetized, so he won't be joining us. So, want to throw that out there. I'm like, I can't even get really mad anymore, man. I just feel like, me and Elfigure were talking about it. Until Dibs is off this team, I don't believe that we can win. And
you don't believe you don't believe we can win as long as Tom Thibodeau is our head coach?
Yeah, I'm that serious. This is not an emotional response. I just really feel like that.
A lot of people believe that.
Listen, I love Josh Hart, but this was like probably his worst series ever, and this guy kept him in when other players were going to be playing more. Yeah, and that's why I believe it too. As long like you can have a coach level player, but the way he does, with Josh Hart, how close he is, it's too much. There's been way too many stretches this season where Josh Hart should have been in the game and we lose because of it. It's been happening way too much. And another thing, the reason why I want him gone too is he going to play the rookies next season? You're just talking about, we need depth and all that. I felt like maybe, I don't think the rookies would have done too much, but I feel like even if you played them a lot more this year, you could have gotten them, ready for next season. And we haven't done that, so we're not going to have the depth really that we need to get far. And I feel like he's going to do it again. He's just not going to play the rookies. I just don't know what to feel, man.
Hey,
Love this team.
Yeah.
I'll always be a fan. But I'm just pissed.
Yeah, look, I hear the frustration. Love this team as well. We're all frustrated here. Look, our season's over, right? I mean, we thought this would go into Game 7 on Monday, and it's not. Instead, we're talking about already Dibs gone. We're talking about rumors, and guys got to own it. Josh Hart has to own it. Dibs has to own it. Jalen Brunson was bad. Cat was bad. I mean, only 2 people showed up, and one of them's in the locker room really upset, and that's Mitchell Robinson. And, I love that for Mitch, and it just makes me even more proud for him, and I really don't even want to give up on him. But, yeah, I mean, our season's over.
We can't get rid of Mitch. I'm going to tell you why. Ariel Porty?
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, Ariel Porty is getting better, and it's because of Mitch. I really believe that.
Yeah.
You keep those 2 together, I think Ariel Porty is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. Keep Mitch at all costs, man, for Ariel Porty's sake.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here, man.
Isaiah, appreciate the phone call. Thank you again for the continued support, man. Keep rocking with us. We still here.
I will be. Well, trust me, I'm always going to stick around.
Appreciate it. This Rover. What up, man?
How you doing, Ant? How you doing, Knicks Nation?
What up, this Rover?
I just want to start off by piggybacking off what Zay said.
Yeah.
I 100% agree that if we develop the Big Mermaid, Ariel Huckporty, he's going to go off. And we need to keep Mitch. We need to lock him down. Whatever he wants to get paid, pay it. He's the only one keeping us in this series. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah, Mitch has been a force throughout the entire playoffs. I mean, Boston tried to get him out the games. You keep Mitch. You got to keep someone like that around. I mean, you're just worried about the durability, but he's proven that he can be healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, he cut weight for the team. He had his own little sacrifice, and it shows.
Yeah.
Next point of order. I'm not gonna repeat verbatim what I said in the actual general chat, but this is a bit of a hot take, but I'm gonna say it. Josh Hart has been close, maybe not close, but worse than useless. Probably this. I want to say this entire playoffs, not just Indy, but the other games too. He had one good game in Boston, but every single. I scream at my computer screen because I don't watch it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he drives, jumps, and just throws it out, because 90% of the times it's a turnover. I hate it. I don't care about his stupid rebounds if he can't score or defend. You understand? It don't matter. I don't care if he gets an offensive rebound. We ain't scoring anyways. We don't get no fast break points. We ain't got no goddamn transition. We ain't got nothing on transition.
The thing about Josh Hart is his contract is so tradable, and I think if they do decide to go that route, I just want him to be appreciated, because he's really the heart and soul. It's just he just had a bad playoffs. Like you said, outside of a few games, but this series he was awful. But Josh Hart has been the heart and soul, and it just sucks that we're here.
Heart and soul, and he played this entire Indy series like he had a hitting contract with them.
He sucked.
Christ. And special shout outs to DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet, who absolutely showed up.
Yeah. 0
playing time. Pretty much so little playing time during the regular season. Shamet got a little bit more towards the end because, we got, Jalen got hurt and everything. We had to change up the rotations. But, I mean, come on. Those dudes are dogs. We keeping them. Yeah. And they're on vet minimums. Keep them. They're cheap.
Yeah.
Last point of order. I don't want to see Josh start for the team anymore.
Yeah.
I genuinely do not. I'd rather see Landry Shamet come off the bench before him. I'm not even joking. Because at least Landry can score. He can shoot the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate the call, this Rover. Really do.
Hey. Good night.
Good night. Shout out to you, Disrover. Alrighty, we got El Figgy up next. What's going on, El Figgy? Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. What you got tonight?
No, I appreciate the community you've built, Ant. I appreciate Knicks Nation. What up, guys? You know, there's a couple of takeaways from tonight. On a positive note, first, I want to just say that I believe this with my whole heart. Anybody who wants to, give it up to the Pacers for a good series, no, I don't subscribe to that. I'm going to tell you why. Because the Knicks beat the Knicks tonight. How many points on turnovers? How much sloppy, and not just turnovers. If we're going to pick on Josh Hart, let's pick on Josh Hart for a minute. It's not just the turnovers, but it's his poor decision making as well. When Josh Hart is under the basket, he double pump it, and then he ends up turning the ball and getting blocked. He'll be under the basket for an easy layup or a dunk even, and he kicks it out to he'll kick it out to McHale, who will miss a 3-point shot. Just bad decision, which then again, you want to call that a turnover? Yeah, it turns the ball over. Now we got no points, and now Indiana's got the ball. And you cannot trade buckets with the Indiana Pacers. You can't do that because they actually score on their possessions, and we're throwing ours away. But I do believe that if the Knicks had cleaned it up at the half, we would have beaten them by double digits. But we came out looking slow and tired. I don't know what happened to us in the third quarter. I definitely think that Thibs has to take a lot to blame tonight. Obviously, his player rotations are shockingly bad sometimes, and tonight is no exception.
They're bad. They're really bad.
Shockingly bad, Ant. No coach in the NBA. We have the worst starting five. And again, it's not magic, it's math. We have the worst starting five in terms of plus or minus. We have the worst starting five. He leaves them all in there. And, tonight he started Mitch, but Mitch didn't. He had the normal starting five coming into the third quarter. If you put Jalen and Cat out there together, you have to have either Deuce or Mitch or both out there with them. You're not getting defense out of them, and you have a very high octane scoring team. The Indiana Pacers are not going to play defense. And to piggyback off of what Say Quizzy said, you had Miles Turner in foul trouble. We had Miles Turner in foul trouble. Who else had 4 fouls? Oh, Neesmith got into foul trouble early. We should have been taking full advantage of that. No, now all of a sudden, Nembhard is going to knock Jalen around for 30-plus minutes, and Thibs makes no adjustments on that. If Jalen is getting double teamed, then he has to play off ball. Then you got to bring Deuce or Delon or someone out there so that Jalen can play off ball. Yeah. No player substitution there, but we already know how I feel about Thibs, so I'm not going to go down that road. One thing I will say, and before I say goodnight to everybody, is just, look, man, I've been a Knicks fan for 31 years, since I was a teenager in high school. And I know I'm showing my age here. But when you decide to be a fan of a team, you sign a little contract with your soul, and you give a piece of your heart to this team. And when you are a Knicks fan, you have to have, it's different. And people can say, oh, I'm a diehard whatever fan. Being a Knicks fan is different. You have to go and be a fan of a team that has not given you much in the last few years. Obviously, the early 2000s, we had a little stint there with Carmelo Anthony and the Linsanity thing. But other than that, since 2001, 2002, it's been rough, guys. And when I see the younger generation of Knicks fans going out there and just repping the team and being so passionate, I'm encouraged. I love it. I'm all for it. I'm really happy to see this next generation of guys, man. And I don't know what next year is going to bring. I don't know what we're going to look like next year. I don't know if we're going to have the same coach. I don't know. I think I think someone tonight in the Discord, we were chopping it up a little bit, but someone said the only person who's really probably safe on this team is Jalen Brunson. Everybody else is kind of expendable, and that makes me sad because I really like OG Anunoby. I think OG earned every penny of his $212.5 million this year. He has never played so many healthy games in his entire NBA career. So I want to give a shout out to OG Anunoby tonight. I think he showed up to work. I think Mitchell Robinson definitely showed up to work. I want to give those two men a shout out because I really think that those two cats came in here, and it's really sad when you got two guys like that have such great have a great night.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of our guys can't put it together. And so we'll see I don't know what's going to happen again. I look forward to watching the summer league because I want to see Kolick, I want to see Haporti, I want to see Dadier, I want to see these guys develop more. I think we really got something in those three guys. They're on sweetheart rookie contracts, so I think we're good there. But look, man, it's been a wild ride. I've enjoyed riding this crazy roller coaster with y'all this season. And again, thank you for the community. Thank you for, just being a great place to come and chop it up every night, after every game, and just to have a place to commune and just for all of us to kind of bounce our ideas off of each other. Let's not get too down tonight, guys. We did get to the Eastern Conference. I'm not happy about losing to the Pacers. I don't want to say I'd be happy losing to OKC, but I think they're a more worthy team of beating us. And I think that we dropped the ball on this Pacers team. And yeah, man, but let's go Knicks and see y'all next year.
Let's go. El Figgy, appreciate the call and thank you again. Thank you for being a part of this community. Really do. Can't do it without you guys. And thank you for the continued support. As always, man, you guys rock. It's not over. Even though it's over, it's not over. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of stuff to dive into, and we will. But really appreciate the call. Somebody in the chat said put El Figgy as the head coach. El Figgy for the next head coach. Shout out to El Figgy, man. Round of applause for El Figgy, if I can find it. Let's go. Let's go, man. Yeah, it's over. And looking back at these playoffs, so many exciting moments. You see the fans. We're hungry. We're ready. Don't care what anyone else has to say.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Here he is. Yuri, what up?
I just got news real quick that just came out.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in a Knicks chat. All right? Just let me open up the chat. Nice to see you, by the way. I didn't want to demonetize your channel.
No, you're good. Keep it PG. But what's your news? You got news. What news?
New York. This is from The Athletic. It's an official source. This is right after the loss. Knicks News YouTube. New York organized multiple player-only meetings after embarrassing defeats throughout this postseason run, all with various degrees of intensity, per league sources. This is from Fred Katz and James Edwards III of The Athletic.
Let me go to Fred Katz's Twitter. So the New York Knicks organized various player-only meetings. And they were intense, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think he's out of here. I think we just lost sign of Tom Thibodeau.
Can you send me that? Where are you seeing that at?
DJ Wonder just put it in the I saw that on YouTube just now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it's on Twitter, but I just saw this just now.
Okay, I think I see the article from the New York Times.
Yeah.
I hope it's not behind a paywall, and it is behind a paywall. Of course it's behind a paywall. Of course it's behind a paywall, but it's probably behind a paywall. Wow, that's interesting. So there was turmoil.
So was the team never getting along?
There was turmoil in the locker room throughout the whole season, right? And quite frankly, it started with the Mikal Bridges calling out Thibs with the playing more players. It started with Josh Hart screaming at Thibs on the sideline. A lot of stuff will start to come out in these next few weeks, and one just did, dropping a bomb right here. Look,
this is after a loss, though.
Teams don't get along, right? Not everyone is your friend, but I'm interested to see if it was aimed at Tom Thibodeau or if it was like, I need some more context regarding this.
We're gonna find out a lot of news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, DJ says New York organized multiple player-only meetings after embarrassing defeats throughout this postseason run, all with various degrees of intensity per league sources, not sauces. That's funny.
I don't know. And now I really don't know what's going to happen this offseason.
And I think I saw a report from somebody that said if the Knicks lost game 5,
that was CP the franchise
to Indiana, that Dibs was on the hot seat.
Pat and Mikel got into it a few times during the season too.
Yeah,
I remember that this go over. So maybe the vibes were never immaculate to begin with.
Tom Thibodeau has the backing of Knicks. Tom Thibodeau has the backing of Knicks team president Leon Rose, as well as full buy-in from Jalen Brunson. I don't care about the buy-in from Jalen Brunson. I don't. Brunson's always going to have his back, but it's the other guys where I'm concerned with because, look, Tom Thibodeau, this is just the beginning, right?
And we had another one about Cat recently. Behind the scenes, Knicks players and coaches expressed frustration with Cat defensive habits. Too often, Cat executed incorrect coverages without communicating why. After it became a theme, players worried Towns didn't grasp the importance.
Fascinating, man.
So, what is going to happen this offseason? What's going to...
Yuri dropping bombs in here, huh? Oh, man. Tom Thibodeau is going to be a subject in which...
Not only Thibodeau is going to be a subject, now Towns is going to be a subject. JB is going to be a subject.
Well, you can't trade it. You can't trade everybody, right? That's not going to happen. You can change the voice in the locker room. And a lot of people think the voice has already, extended his welcome. Right?
The players probably weren't fans of Cat to trade this post-up pass. No, that's not true, though, because Cat always talks nice about JB, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
hey, Yuri, appreciate the bombs in here, man.
Yeah, I figured I might as well do something different. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, Yuri.
Always. I will say one thing, though.
Yeah.
Knicks Nation, you got to the Eastern Conference Finals. This team, no matter what the reports is going to come out, this team has a bright future ahead of it. And I trust Leon Rose to make the right decisions.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yuri bringing up bombs in here. Shout out to Yuri dropping them bombs in the chat. Obviously, we're going to talk about a lot about Tom Thibodeau. A lot about Tom Thibodeau. Sucks more than Melo losing to Indy in the playoffs. Mr. Nice with the super chat. Appreciate the super chat again, Mr. Nice. Game 6, what was it? In 2013, Carmelo Anthony blocked by Roy Hibbert. Game 6 tonight, 2025. The New York Knicks are demolished by the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are a kryptonite. Right? What more can we say? Wayne says Yuri is the new Woj. Brunson for LaMelo. Whoa. Heck no, Omar. Driller says, can I be your mod? Come over to YouTube, Driller. I'm looking for mods as well. Looking for some more moderators. Tom Thibodeau is going to be a subject. The bench is going to be a subject. This summer should be a roller coaster. Strap in. But this season, when you take the broader approach, was a really good season for the Knicks. But now what you're seeing is that despite the success, despite the 2 wins away from the the NBA Finals, there was so much turmoil within that locker room. So much. Even Precious Achua got into it with the coaching staff in the locker room. That's why he was out of the rotation. He was in bad spirits with Tom Thibodeau. So much going on in that locker room. And of course, my camera does this again. Maybe you need a new voice. Maybe you don't. But one thing is for certain, Tom Thibodeau did get out coached. And he has yet to reach an NBA Finals. He's been coaching for a long time. He did come in here and change the culture. He changed a lot. He's a hell of a coach. Maybe he just slides into the front office, still stays with the Knicks, and bringing some fresh young blood in here, which I'm all for, honestly. I'm all for keeping Thibs, put him in the front office, and let's go. Going to be interesting to watch and interesting to see what comes out in the next couple of weeks. But one thing is for certain is that the Knicks season is over. You drafted Pacom Daddier, right? There's a lot of things we can look at now. You drafted Daddier. You give him a shot in game one, and that's it. You had the 3 seed wrapped up for, what, like a month, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. This Knicks team had the 3 seed wrapped up for the better part of a month. And instead of trying new stuff, like new rotations, new lineups, something, you didn't. You just stuck with the same thing because you're addicted to winning. Instead, sometimes you got to lose the battle to win the war. And that's the frustration that a lot of Knicks fans fall on, is he is so addicted to being in his own way and stuck in his own way and to like not trying new stuff when you essentially had the 3 seed locked up for like a month, 2 months, and you didn't deviate to the bench. You didn't go to them. You didn't try the rooks, nothing. I'm not saying that lost the series, but that's a part of the frustration. The Josh Hart stuff, he was terrible. So we'll just never know. Look, you're going to have some great second-year plays in the Summer League. You have Tyler Kolek. You have Pacom Daddier, you know, who you drafted, who was 19 years old, where, you know, a lot of people wanted Ryan Dunn, who was a defender. And he was actually given, you know, I'm not going to, hopefully Daddier, I still believe in Daddier. He can, like, be a good player in this league. He's still super young. He's a baby. But it just piles on what a lot of people feel towards Tom Thibodeau. But, you know, here we are. We're talking about a lot, and it's just frustrating. But like I said, in like a week or two, we're gonna be sitting back and looking at this season and just really reflecting for the good moments. There was a lot of good moments. A lot of good moments. Get some more comments before I head up on out of here. Yeah, both of Cat's hands have been busted for months. Thibs would rather Cat be taken off the court on a stretcher than give pressure minutes. Yeah. Imagine what Kolek could have provided. Big Mermaid traveling up super fast. I think Haporti will have a big year too. I really do. Really want to see some growth from Daddier. Really do. Get stronger, get a better defender. Tyler Kolek, I'm excited. It's just a hell of a season from the Knicks, and, you know, it's over. Things to build on, but the job ain't done. And we just have to go back to the drawing board, because ultimately we succeeded what we did last year, but the goal is to win an NBA championship. And we were one of the final 4 teams in the NBA. You can hold your hat on that. I mean, we're peaking, right? Still work to be done, though. So, still work to be done. Look out for a podcast. Probably tomorrow, Chris and I will chop it up, just reflecting everything. And once again, appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. As always, the content does not stop, ladies and gentlemen. Even though the next season is over, I still will be on here giving you guys updates, content, rumors, all the good stuff, talking about the season. And let's go. It's over, but it's a start of a new beginning that I'm happy to be a part of it with you guys, and happy to be a part of Knicks Nation. And let's go. Job isn't finished. We are just getting started. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the support. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone out there. And it's still Let's Go Knicks, even though it's over. It's never over. See you soon. Have a good night, Knicks Nation. Peace.